This is Pod Populi.
Podcast for the people.
The Great Love Debate. It's the Great Love Debate.
The Great Love Debate. It's the Great Love Debate.
Hi again, everyone. It's Brian Howie. Welcome to the Great Love Debate, the world's number one dating and relationship podcast. Since 2015, I am back here in the very fine studios of Pod Populi, Podcast for the People. I'm at the one in Cleveland, Ohio, Lyndhurst, Ohio, slightly outside of Cleveland. And I'm going to do a quickie today. It's just something I wanted to talk about because somebody brought it up and I had something to think about. So forgive the quickie, and it's just me because my guest flaked. And if a guest flakes, you got to be prepared to talk about whatever you want to talk about. And this is what I'm going to talk about. So first things first, a little order of business. I think the last episode of this show, the one I did with our longtime GLD producer, the two-time Emmy Award-winning Keiko, I did a quick little announcement, a promo at the end for a new podcast that I launched and I am hosting. And it is about estrangement, which is a strange topic to dive into. But those of you who know me know that I have a little bit of a fascination with estrangement. And after that show, Keiko reached out and she said, I don't like the name that you announced. You should change it. And I said, what should I change it to? And she said, you need to change it to Dead to Me. And I thought, that's so harsh. So I pushed back a little on it. But you know what? She's right. The subject matter is harsh. And if we're going to get into some rough areas, I think we need a rough name. And that's the name. And so the show's called Dead to Me. It's an estrangement podcast. And it is live. So Keiko is right. She usually is, hence the Emmys. So it's live on all the platforms. It's called Dead to Me, an estrangement podcast, and it is hosted by me. And if you listen to the first episode, which is live, and by the time you listen to this, there might be many episodes live, but I'd like it if you did, because you'll learn way more about me than you ever thought you would know. And I'm sharing way more about myself than I ever thought I would share. And not that that show is really about me, but I think the more you understand what makes me tick and what I like to talk about and why I like to talk about, and the subject matter, I just think it feeds into this show a lot too. So, you know, the hope and the healing and the trauma and the pain and all of that goes into, hopefully, finding that special person and that special relationship. You'll understand a lot of what we do here on the Great Love Debate. So give Dead to Me a listen, please, and or email deadtomeshow at gmail.com if you have an estrangement story or a situation of your own. So that was a slight tangent, but not a total one, because I want to talk a little bit about past or broken relationships that did not work out for a second. Not necessarily in a bad way. We're not here to bash the exes, but I want to talk about how much contact is healthy and how to navigate between that loss and moving ahead. So I have two opinions on this, and they're both, I think, a little bit unusual and might not be what you expect. First of all, I think it is healthy to communicate with your exes. I do. You know, if you're calling them every day and screaming, I fucking hate you, no, that's not healthy, but you also shouldn't be in a new relationship at that point anyway. I'm talking about when you're in a new relationship. How much is too much and how much is too little? And I'm actually okay with it. I would want my girlfriend or wife to be on friendly, cordial, communicative terms with whomever was in their past. I mean, I don't want them in court every Wednesday morning, but having some sort of line to them. Happy birthday, happy Father's Day, congratulations. I mean, even to like, hey, I was in Cape Cod and I remember that time you caught that big dumb fish and you were so happy. I think that's good. Because I want people to err on the side of good memories. I think that leads to a happier person. The gratitude that came from it. The positivity of the experience. I'm personally not the jealous type. I honestly would rather have the person I am with in contact with someone who it did not work out with than someone who it might still work out with, you know? I'd rather have them talk to an ex than someone in their office. I just think it's a positive mindset. You know, everyone has a past. Everyone has had relationships that didn't work out. I just think it's healthier than them completely forgetting anything that ever happened and walling it off completely. That would scare me. That is unresolved feelings. And here's another layer to that I am also okay with. and some of you are going to disagree. A lot of you might disagree. I think the pet names can remain. I think if you call your present girlfriend honey, you probably shouldn't go back and call your ex honey. But that's also because I think every relationship deserves its own unique name. I don't think there should be two honeys. I think you used honey and you have to find something else. There can only be one baby, you know? But if I called my ex Shelly, hi Shelly, she would never in a million years listen to this show. And she answered the phone, I think I would say, hey, Pickle. Because that's what I called her. And I think she would say, what's up, Toad? Because she called me Toady for some reason. And I'm not sure why she was Pickle. But anyway, I've never known her by her actual name. Like, I've never really called her actual name to her face. I don't think I ever did that. So it would seem strange to call her that, and it would seem hostile to call her that. And I get that that's not for everyone. I get that some people might say, wait, that is too familiar, bordering on flirty. The pet names die with the relationship. I don't know. That's who they were to me. And you might be like, no, it's not the same. You know, you're no longer in that relationship. I get it. And, I always notice the way and how people call each other stuff. I always think couples are in trouble when I hear them call each other by their real name. If somebody's like, hey, Doug, it's Connie, and I'm picking up John from soccer at 5:30. I'm like, yikes. They hate each other. They definitely hate each other if they call each other by their first names. I asked my ex-girlfriend what her ex-husband called her when they were married, and she said he called me wife. He said, hey, wife. And I could have told you right then. That never had a prayer of working out. I don't know. You guys know who Michelle Beadle is? She was on ESPN for a while. She floated around since. She's a sports and entertainment personality. And she said once in an interview, she said most of her guy friends call her Beetle. And I get that. A lot of people call me Howie. And then she started dating one of these guy friends, and he continued to call her Beetle, which would have been a cute nickname if it wasn't her actual name. I've always hated girls who kept my name in their phone as Howie. I always hated that. I want something else in the phone contacts. I want love of my life. Something like that. So anyway, as I've said ad infinitum on this show, my job is to raise the questions, not give you the answers. These are some of my answers, but I have another part to this to raise a question that you also may not like. We have to take a quick break to pay for things around here. We will be back right after this. And we are back. And we are talking about the sometimes tenuous thread and treacherous waters of relating to an ex. And so here is something I've said before that I feel even more strongly about, and people are going to give me a ton of pushback on this one, but here are my thoughts. I know I just said I think it's fine and healthy to have a congenial relationship with a past partner. But, however, caveat, if he or she, the new person, especially a she, but the new person, if she says, you know what, I don't want you talking to them, it makes me feel uncomfortable. I think they have every right to say that. I do. And you shut it down. That's what I think. The new person has the keys to the house. The old one has to give up the keys. And so many of you are like, no, they have to accept that this person is a part of my life still, and I consider them my friend, and I have to deal with it. I don't think they do. I don't. And I'm not talking about, and this can even get into social media. I don't want you liking, and I don't want you, Facebook friends with these people. I think they have the right to do that. As soon as that person, not somebody you dated 3 times, but somebody who's like now your boyfriend, girlfriend, I think they have that right. And I'm not talking about an ex-wife or an ex-husband, because obviously there are sometimes some legal and financial and custodial things. I'm talking about an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. So if you're easily jealous, even if the person isn't an ex, but a close friend, I think you have the right to ask them to just shut it down. Maybe not forever, but until they really get in a comfort zone with you. I just think it is your job to make the new person comfortable with you. And a lot of times that means your comfort zone has to change. I mean, is that an absolute and no exceptions? No, I just think it's a good thing to speak up on, because it's better than saying nothing and having these issues or jealousy creep in. Like, you have got to give the new ones a shot, and the old ones have to be put to the side. which is something else I've said before. These people are like, no, you need to serial date. You need to date 5 or 6 people at a time to find out who the one you like. I don't think you do. I think you're not giving one a shot. You don't order 5 or 6 bottles of wine and drink them all. I think you order a bottle of wine, and if you like it, you keep drinking it until you don't like it. And then you order different wine. But it's hard to create an environment where a new person gets a shot when there's stuff of the old person. So you might be like, wait, what? At the beginning you said it's cool to talk to the old person. And I said, I think it's fine unless, here's the exception, the new person does not. And maybe the new person eventually will be like, you know what, that was stupid. I don't know. Feel free to talk to them. I actually do. It's healthy. It's great. Better than the other way around where they think it's all healthy from the jump. And then they're like, wait, why are you talking to Monica so much? Why are you talking to David so much? Like, I don't know. I think this involves communication. And I think there's obviously exceptions to this. I'm not a 10 on any of these things from 1 to 10 on how strong. This is generally how I feel, though. I'll be like, oh, that's cool that she wished her ex happy birthday. Doesn't mean she's going out with them. And I also think it's cool if you're like, you know what, just limit it to a happy birthday. I don't want any other contact with it. I think all of that can work. And I think that's all about communication. I think it's about healthy. I think it's about moving forward. We're all about positivity here. And I think that is the positive outlook on both. That I'm going to devote myself to the new one. And if it's okay, I'm going to keep some ties that are friendly and happy and good memories to the old one. 2 sides of the same coin, 2 sides of opposite coin, 2 coins. I don't know, a little bit of both. As far as us, 2 sides of the coin here. Dead to Me podcast, like, share, follow, review. Great Love Debate podcast, like, share, follow. I'm not cheating on you guys with that podcast. It's just a little bit of it's either a bookend to this or it's the flip side to this. I don't know yet, but we're going to do a lot of things on that. They're a little bit darker that we won't do on this show here. So here, greatlovedebate.com. Check out our tour schedule. Our big show in Boca Raton, Florida, the Boca Black Box Center for the Arts, is on sale. I think if they moved the date to December, it's December 3rd. Tickets are on sale. Go for that then. That is our finale, I believe. That is one thing I do believe strongly in. That is our live tour finale. This podcast will go on forever and ever, but that should be the finale for the live shows. I think I got one more in me. It's going to be a big one. Tickets on sale now. BocaBlackBox.com. Shoot us an email, greatlovedebate@gmail.com. If you agree or disagree with any of this, or if you have a third solution that I have not thought of yet, because as always, at the Great Love Debate, we never stop making love. See you next time.